Well, hello everyone. Thank you for watching. 2017 5777 has arrived with hope, peace, and prosperity in the air. I just say today, to God be the glory. I want to thank everyone who is helping sponsor me to go to the inaugurations prayer breakfast in Washington, D.C., January the 19th and 20th. I will be representing you, my prayer warriors, and our victory in the Lord, that the liberals are trying to give credit to the Russians. What a joke. And I just say to myself, are they really that naive? It's God that gave America her deliverance. It's God and His people that took a stand and prayed, cried out, and sought for America's deliverance from evil doers. And to see the media and to see the liberals and the atheists and the many, I don't want to name them all because I'm not here to call names, but I want to tell you that God gave us our answers to prayer, and God gave America deliverance. And what we've got to do and what we've got to continue to do is pray for God to save those that voted for a continued death wish over this country and bring their lies to naught. More people voted for mocking God, a pro-death agenda, straight from hell, candidates, than they did for candidates who are pro-life, pro-prosperity, pro-God, pro-religious freedom. And those counties that were listed in my face facts showed the counties that literally went pro-life. I'm going to show you those in just a minute. Our face facts December the 9th was an unbelievable issue that revealed the mission field, literally the mission field that America has, that we need to take serious, and we need to send missionaries in. No politician can save America. Only God's people can. And it's time to take the gospel to our streets, all academia, facilities. We need to take it to the liberals, and we can no longer allow a Christ-less, God-free zones in our country. There are no such things. So how does this happen? Number one, it's our goal for 2017, year 577. We are going to possess the land. We'll be talking to you about that in just a minute, so don't miss our program. Taking possession must start right now. Deuteronomy tells us how to do this, and I'm going to discuss it with you in the few minutes that we have. Our program goes so fast, so go call your friends, tell them Faye is on. We are going to possess the land in 2017/577. I am Faye Harding, and this is Well, welcome back. I want to take a moment today to offer you the December 9th face facts with specifics about the election. God is blessing our partners. We want you to become a partner, a monthly partner with our ministry. That's the only way we can do what we're doing. And our face facts is a much sought after weekly prayer bulletin. So will you write me a note today and say, Faye, I'm watching you. Tell me where you're watching me from, what channel, and that our program is a blessing to you. It's the beginning of the year. Will you commit to helping us go forward and possess this land? Last year was an awesome year for our ministry, and we saw the fruit of our labor and the answer to our prayers when Donald Trump won the election based on a pro-life platform and a promise to go into the inner cities and give a lifeline to those who are trapped in Hillary's villages and Valerie Jarrett's slums. We have so much to be grateful for, but we've got to do our part. So I need partners. And whatever God speaks to you to do, if the Lord has blessed you and you could do $50 or $100 a month, that is tremendous. And it will help us not just break even, but to go forward. We've been breaking even for several years, but we need to go forward. We need more partners. Our partners are so faithful, but God is blessing the socks off of our partners that we will go forth this year and we will possess the land. But you need to know your facts, and you need to know how to be a prayer warrior and also move with answers and become allowing your voice to be heard exactly in the right places. Our December 9th Face Facts, I brought it with me today so you could have some facts about this election. One of them is the touting of the liberals and their lies and the media is that Russia influenced our elections. Russia has done all this. Nothing could be further from the truth. God delivered this nation last year from the powers of the evildoers. Let me show you what happened. There were 3,141 counties in the United States. Trump won 3,084 of them. Clinton won 57. And they're touting that she had the most votes, and she literally won the election, of course, based on stupidity and illegal mindset. She won 57 counties in the United States. Those additional millions that she won were from California and New York, which are places that we should know now should be the greatest mission field in our country, with the churches and with the Christians, and especially with Christian colleges, going forth with the gospel. That's what that is our goal. There are 62 counties in New York State. Trump won 46 of them, and Clinton won 16. In the 5 counties that encompass New York City, the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Manhattan, Richmond, and Queens, Clinton received well over 2 million more votes than Trump. Clinton only won 4 of these counties. Trump won Richmond. So therefore, these 5 counties alone, more than the accounted for Clinton winning the popular vote of the entire country. These 5 counties comprise of 319 square miles, and the United States is comprised of 3,797,000 square miles. So not only can we allow the deception to take root and grow, but it's up to the people of the United States to reject all of this a myth. It's a myth. It's delusion, and it's deliberate. And to sabotage the election of the United States of America literally was accomplished more by allowing foreigners into this country, $65,000 each, to influence the election from within. Nobody is mentioning that. The foreigners that were brought in here by Marco Rubio, by Jay Johnson, by Barack Obama, and been given a pass on the laws of this land. That's the influencing of our election that is not being mentioned. We cannot let that go forth. Another thing we've got to deal with this year is Social Security has been robbed. I have a fact sheet that Paul Ryan is working now to rob Social Security and our seniors. And there is, I don't have it with me, I thought I did. There is a bill right now that's going to be going up soon that will misuse Social Security, and we're not going to let him do it. The other issue this year that's not being reported is the issue of the Native Americans and the treaty that they are now under. We have got to change, reform that treaty and set the Native Americans free. Give them their land, give them their gold. I'm going to be talking about that in just a minute in the next segment. But what do you have to know? And this program is known as a program filled with information. Well, this is what we're dealing with. And this came from the North American Union Connected the Dots by Eagle Forum. It says, what can we do to save the U.S. sovereignty and stop integration with Canada and Mexico? Number one, Phyllis Schlafly wrote, secure our borders by a real fence, more border guards, and military if necessary. Prevent a North American Union and a NAFTA superhighway, and support support the H Congressional Resolution 40. Enforce the laws to exclude Mexicans and trucks from the U.S. roads. Prohibit federal funds to pay for SPP working groups. Make any Social Security totalization plan ineffective unless passed by Congress. And then it goes on and on. Defeat bills in Congress that are comprehensive immigration reform, and all bills for increased guest workers, H-1B or L-1 visas. And knowing the facts, and this was written, this is one of the first things that I was working on when God showed me that I was to pray for America and start intercessors teams that would do nothing but bind the spirit of communism, that when it rose to its ultimate end, that our prayer teams would be the teams that would back down the takeover of communism or the spirit of communism, and that's exactly what happened. Now, also have the Congress at your fingertips. You need to know how to contact, and these won't be ready till March, but we pre-sell them. You can pre-order it with a $100 donation to our ministry and just saying, I'd like to have the book on the Congress. Phone numbers, the committees they serve on. You need to know your government. We did take the White House out of the hands of evildoers, but our Congress has not changed. There's been a few people that were reelected, but the leaders are still there. They are still pushing their agenda. We must have more people understanding how to get in touch with the Congress, what to say, who to say it to have a victorious year. So let me hear from you. Do it today. Hi, I just want to take a minute and recruit prayer ministry leaders to pray with me. One of our partners in Lubbock, Texas, created a cliche and came up to me one day in Lubbock at one of our rallies and said, we need to pray with Faye for the USA. We've been taking that message forward, but prayer ministries, you must come higher. We are losing our nation, and the lack of knowledge is why people perish. You need to know that God is saying we will be delivered. You need to not doubt about when the end is going to come. The Lord has said we're going to reach the world with His gospel. It's going to take women of God. I'm asking women and couples, pastors, prayer ministry leaders, join our efforts to get the accurate information and to believe now. Hi, welcome back. I am still reading from our December 9th Faye's Facts. If you'd like to have a copy of it, you can call our office or write me a note and order it. And one of the things that was in this particular Faye's Facts was an awesome vision of one of the intercessors. I've been reading some of her prophecies, which she's, as far as I'm concerned, she is 100% correct in what God is revealing to her. You can call our office 407-265-0700, press 2, and get a complimentary copy of our Faye's Facts, or you can become a monthly partner and receive them weekly, which is what I send first-class mail to guide intercessors who really want to be eagles and fly with our ministry, praying the same thing, according to the same situations, with the same focus every week. It's bringing unbelievable answers to these prayers because of the prayer power. So in the December night, I shared with you before we went to a break, this was a prophecy that I believe is so right on. And it's from Lana Vawser, Vawser, and it was October the 29th, 2016. She said, I'm changing the current and turning the tides in the United States of America and the lives of my people across the world. This is what she said the Lord spoke to her that morning. Recently, I had a vision of the bowels of heaven being full to the brim with the prayers and intercession of the saints, and they were at a tipping point. The interesting thing I saw is that these bowls were at a tipping point over the lives of believers and over the United States. They were both connected. I was really intrigued, the connection between the two. I then saw the Lord dispatching angelical host into the lives of believers that had been standing in faithful intercession and remaining uncompromised in their devotion to Jesus and purity in their hearts, motives, and surrender to Him. I saw these angelic hosts were landing in the lives of the believers and in the nation of the United States simultaneously. I saw them landing into the huge bodies of water with current of water moving strongly in certain directions. The directions that the surface currently were moved in were strong and looked unmovable. I saw the angelic host holding rods. As the Lord's command, they drove these huge rods into the ground, into the stakes. As they did, the water that looked so strong, moving in one direction, was suddenly stopped and in greater acceleration turned in the other direction, and the angel sang, "The turning of the tides, the changing of the current has arrived. The turning of the tides, the changing of the current has arrived." Instantly, I saw a turning happening suddenly over the lives of the believers in the United States all at once. Current circumstances and any currents moving in a direction against what God is speaking as the people of God stay aligned in declaration with Him. He is turning the tide. He is changing the current. As the current and the tide were turned, there was a great acceleration, favor, and establishment of the Lord's plans and purposes. And what He decreed manifested. Such a strong series surrounded me of the turning of the current circumstances and His direction, opposing currents, and being stopped and halted. Pay attention to the United States. A prophetic picture is being displayed. I kept hearing the words, pay attention to the United States. A prophetic picture is being displayed. As I heard these words, I began to see the significance of the connection. In the spirit, in the vision, the United States and the body of Christ have reached a tipping point moment. A moment of decision to decide once and for all what you will decree. I heard the words, do not be swayed by circumstances. Stand with me. Choose whom you will serve. Choose to the degree that I am saying and not be tossed to and fro. Shake off the double-mindedness and seek me, hear me, and decree. The vision of the angelic host driving the stakes in the ground appears before me again. I heard the word, this land belongs to the Lord, to the victory. To the Lord. Victory, yes. There was a strong decree from heaven over the United States and the lives of believers of the Lord having final say, no matter what circumstances look like, no matter what is happening on the surface, no matter what the Lord is decreeing, His final say and we must stand in agreement with that. The Lord began to speak to me about all the turmoil and the division that had been happening amongst believers in the USA concerning the current election. I felt the Lord saying, what is going on in the United States right now is bigger than just the USA. The war that is going on in the spirit over the election is a prophetic picture of not only what is happening in our nation, but in the body of Christ. There is a war happening right now. The enemy is attempting to do all he can to keep his ground, but I am taking his ground. I am decreeing my authority and my plans over the USA and the lives of believers. This uproar is the enemy attempting to keep his stronghold, and I am decreeing that the enemy is losing ground. And those strongholds in the USA and the body of Christ are coming down. I have sent my angelic host to turn the tides. I have sent my angelic host to change current circumstances. But my people, you must agree. You must intercede with me. I am decreeing change. I am decreeing a turning of the tides in the favor of my plans for the United States and lives in the body of Christ. See past what is happening in the natural in the USA now and see with the eyes of the Spirit what I am saying for the nation and the entire body of Christ. Change. The tipping point has arrived, but you must stand in the gap. You must agree with me that no matter what happens in this season and in the next, I have the final say. What a powerful word from God. It's exactly what I've been saying. Stand with me, will you? Hi, I just want to thank you for supporting 2016 with us. We have had some awesome prayer summits in 3 cities, in 3 states, Redeeming the Land and Avenging the Blood of the Innocent. We have met some of the most powerful professionals that do have the information on our country that you need to hear. And we want you to know that God is blessing our program. You can now download the GEB app on your cell phone, on your tablet, or on Roku. And DirecTV now is offering programs on your phone apps. So check it out. Help us get the word out. And then our YouTube also airs our program. Well, we're at an end again, and I really want you to understand that in the Face Facts, you can get them every week and get the total reports of what I address every week with issues, biblically based prayer points and Bible studies. The Bible study that really goes with today's program, I'm not going to have time to do it all, but our mission for 2017 for 5777 is to possess the land. That's what we're going to be doing. Last year, we avenged the land. America's land has been defiled, and the blood of the unborn flowing through this land is a judgment on our land. And the beginning of next year, God's going to allow us to do something really special in Oklahoma. And I'm not going to give any more information because I've got to get it settled. But we are going to sow seeds into the women, Native American women, in the Creek Nation and in the Cherokee Nation. We need your support. I know there's many of you that are just throwing money. You're just throwing it. Some of you not doing anything. But when you sow your seeds and you are bringing forth God's plan of action forth, there are rewards, major rewards. So will you consider today being a prayer warrior, being a monthly partner. We need monthly partners. We have a lot of people that, whenever the Spirit moves, they'll send a check, but we need every month a certain amount of money till that money is there, and also operating capital. We can't move this ministry and won't move it because we're holding our own. God is using what we're doing. We have the favor of the Lord because we do it in, number one, in His will, and decent and in order. And that's all God expects out of us. So today, will you write me a note and say, Faye, I want to be a partner. If you can give $100, I lost several partners last year that gave $500 or more to our ministry. That hurt. One was bad enough, but we had several that their monthly partners was over $500 a month, and they loved our ministry. But when they died, the donations ended. Will you pick up the slack and say, we're going to do what we need to do to possess the land this year? 3 things that we're going to bring to your forefront every single week. Number 1, the Native Americans. They need their borders lifted. What we're doing for illegals is a disgrace compared to what's happening. And when I discovered on the Trail of Tears, between 1830 and 1850, the Trail of Tears was a series of forced relocations of Indian nations in the United States following the Indian Removal Act of 1830. This act is coming back to the forefront. The Native Americans, each week, I'm going to bring you a little bit more of truth because you can't take it all at one time. It's too much. It's history that has literally been denied. And between 1830 and 1850, the Chickasaw, the Choctaw, Creek, Seminole, and Cherokee people and the African freedmen and slaves who lived among them were forcibly removed from their traditional lands in the southeastern United States. And one of the reasons is because there were politicians who wanted their gold. It is amazing what they've been through. I'll see you next week.
Faye wants to hear from you. Her desire to see America come out of exile is raising up one of the most powerful, informed, anointed, and united prayer networks in America for America. She is organizing Christians for the U.S. Constitution to give uncompromising believers back their voice and witness. If this program has blessed you and you believe in what Faye is doing, contact her, pray with and for her, partner with her. She would love for you to host an Insight rally in your church or city. Organize an Intercessors with Insight prayer team or join one. For a complimentary pocket-sized constitution or Faye's fax, call or email Faye 407-265-0700 or faye.usainsight@gmail.com. Write Insight USA, P.O. Box 917689, Longwood, Florida 32791.